Hi guys, I was thinking about my schooling days back in the day. I went to quite a few schools. I started off going to school in Newmarket where I was born, but I only just started school before we moved out, because we moved out of Newmarket when I was 5 years old. So I'd literally only just started when we moved to a little village outside Newmarket called Isleham. And I went to the little village school in Isleham. And I can remember the headmaster was Mr. Martindale. Him and his wife, Mr. and Mrs. Martindale, lived in the house, the headmaster's house, which was attached to the school. It was a beautiful, beautiful school. It was the old part of it was all flint and lime and mortar and brick. It was a beautiful building, and then they had more modern classrooms behind that. Happy memories of being at school there. Not that I was a very good student. I was too busy playing and having a good time than studying like I should have. But yes, what a wonderful place to go to school. When we moved away from this little village, I had to change schools again, and I was still in junior school then, and so I had to start at another junior school, and I was only there probably about 6 months before I moved up to the upper schools. So I went from so I started in Newmarket, went to Isleham, and then when we moved I went to another junior school, then I went to a secondary modern, and then I went to an old grammar school, and then I finally finished off at an upper school. And that was my last that was my last school. So yeah, I did the rounds. Unfortunately I was on a year change where they were changing all the school buildings, so it was all a little bit muddled up. I think people coming up behind us, they went just to 2 schools. They went from their junior school to the upper school, and that was it. But we were caught in the middle during the changing period, so we went to lots of little schools that were halfway houses. A lot of those schools have now gone, and they've been replaced with other buildings or converted into old people's homes. But yes, fond memories of my school days. I was happy when I finished school. I'd always say it was one of the happiest days of my life. I did pass all my exams bar one, and the only exam I didn't pass was physics. I used to really enjoy physics, and I did well at physics, but then they moved me from my physics class that I was in into the upper physics class, where it was a bit more in depth, and I didn't want that. I wanted to stay in my old physics class, but I didn't get a say in it, guys. So I got pushed up to a higher level physics class, and I just didn't gel. I could not do it, and I actually failed that one, and I didn't care because I just didn't like it at all. I didn't like the teacher. I won't say his name, but I didn't like the teacher, and I just didn't gel with that teacher at all, and I didn't learn very much. But all my other classes I did. I passed everything else, but physics, no. I left school when I was 16 and went straight into an apprenticeship, and that was also training at a college. I was sent to Bury St Edmunds College on blocks and day. It was called blocks and day release. So you do it'd be like every Wednesday or every Thursday every week at college, but then you'd also do blocks. So you'd go to college for say 6 to 8 weeks and then go back to the garage, and you do that a few times a year just to do block training. But most of your learning was done at the garage. You basically put into practice what you'd learnt at college at the garage. But I really enjoyed work. When I left school, I couldn't get my head round getting paid for something I really enjoyed doing, which was different to school. You know, I disliked school with a passion. But when I started in the motor trade, I just loved it. And to think I was getting paid to do something I loved. It's not quite the same feeling anymore though. Unfortunately, it's a case of you need the money to pay the bills. But at the time, it was lovely. So nice. What would I have done had I not become a motor mechanic? I was really into carpentry. I loved carpentry. And I hanker that I'd have probably gone into carpentry, gone into joinery. And I'd have really enjoyed that because I love my woodwork, and I still do to this day. I did, as the years went on, I got more and more equipment for doing woodwork, and yes, I was really good at it. But most of my equipment now, my son has got. It's still at the old property, but my son seems to borrow things and never bring them back. So whenever I go back to my old property to retrieve one of the pieces of equipment, it's never there. My son's got that. My son's always got it. So yeah, but there, it is what it is, guys. I'm in rented accommodation at the moment, or rented house. So it's not like I have a lot of DIY options there. I can do things in the garden, which is what I'm going to do. But yeah, I'm not going to do anything major in the house. It's not my house, so yeah. Right, guys, I'm going to sign out, and I shall speak to you about something else in a minute. Okay, bye-bye.